you can easily get caught up again with all the negativity that's happening. And the truth is, it's not that you're going to be like, I mean, like a pie in the sky thing and be like, oh, and there's nothing bad happening in the world. That's not it. But at the time, for me, I try to listen to motivational speakers. So like, a lot of them are on YouTube. Listen to Crystal Scales on YouTube, or listen to, TD Jakes or Joel or Oprah inspirational stories. So I try to listen to those, and that keeps me going, because when you hear, or listen to the Trailblazers, watch the Trailblazers with Tamara McKayle. So when you hear those stories of other persons who have overcome and are overcoming and are doing it, it really pushes you and motivates you. So yeah, definitely for me overall, it's what I try to feed, what I try to feed on for my mind. If you want to condition your mind, then you have to filter what you feed on, or what you feed your mind on, to get a positive outcome.
What would be your advice for those who are struggling with their self-esteem and their self-confidence?
It shapes the way how you see the world and how the world in turn sees you, right? And I remember this quote, from Marcus Garvey, and it says that if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won even before you have started. Fortunately for me, growing up, despite the fact that I grew up in humble beginnings, I never felt that I was less than. I never felt that, because my parents are not rich. I always felt that, I can do anything. I'm brilliant, because those were the words that were fed to me. So if you never grew up in a situation like that, then again, it comes back to what you're going to have to feed your mind on. You're going to have to start changing the narrative that you tell yourself. So the fact is, it will come, because those moments will come when you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so insignificant. I'm not as important as that person, or why do I even try? That narrative will come, but then you have to literally silence that voice. And what also helps is doing words of affirmation and meditation. So that's something that I try to do as well. Find the time. It may not be every day, but every day I would try to say, when you're getting ready in the morning and you look yourself in the mirror as you're getting ready, you're brushing your teeth or whatever, you say, wow, girl, you're beautiful. You're special. You're important. You're valuable. You're going places. The world is already treating many of us harsh. So don't tell yourself a negative narrative. You be the one to pump up yourself and boost up yourself and get that in your psyche. And trust me, as you continue to do that, more and more you start feeling a certain way. So as I said, affirmations help, and also meditation. You may not be able to do meditation daily, but try and get that done at least 1 or 2 times at least for the week, where you just have that moment of silence. Because the truth is, I'm guilty of it too. On social media, you're busy with work, you're busy with your other responsibilities, and it becomes noisy. And so you need that time away where, even for just 20 minutes, silence, maybe you find, a soothing, meditation exercise, because there's a lot of them on YouTube as well. And you listen to that, or you're just still, and you just calm your mind. As it relates to self-esteem, I have a sister who is physically challenged, and her name is Terry, and Terry is amazing. Like, Terry, she's so beautiful and so smart, and it doesn't even matter the fact that, hey, she has, a physical disability. She knows she's loved and she's special, right? We have to know that we are loved and we're special, no matter who is with us or who is against us. You need also some positive people in your life. So the friends that you keep and the people that you have in your circle, they need to also be persons who can lift you up when you are not necessarily feeling your best.
How is it that you overcome your fears?
Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's a part of being a human, right? But what I do in terms of me overcoming my fears, I take them for what they are, that it's a fear, but at the same time I look at it and I'm like, I'm not going to let that stop me, because what's the worst that can happen, right? So for me, if I've never been the kind of person that has let fear stop me. And I think for me, the word that I would use to describe myself, what I've been described as, and I claim it, is tenacious. That's being determined. That's pushing forward no matter what. That's breaking boundaries no matter what. Not letting, because of who the person is or what their title is, stop you. Because I look at it as they are humans just like me and you. In terms of overcoming fears, it's just not giving into them. It's realizing that you will experience them because you will have the feeling and doing it anyway. That's even one of the reasons, for example, why, for example, with my show, The Trailblazers, why I've been able to like even get some really good guests, because I've never let that stop me. All the things that I've done so far in my life, I've always just been the kind of person to take the risk. But the important thing I would also caution is that while you are, you feel the fear and do it anyway, and you take the risk, get yourself prepared so that when those moments come, your mind is mentally stable and your mind is ready, and you are ready to, claim those opportunities that will come your way. If you don't know what what you're passionate about, look at what, I don't remember who it was that said it, but they said that look at what others normally come to you for. So maybe you would think like, I'm not passionate about anything, but look at what you're naturally good at. What is it that people normally come to you for? Do they normally come to you for advice? Or do they normally come to you to maybe, I don't know, do some cooking? Maybe they like how you cook and they're like, boy, you're the best cook I know, Or maybe they come to you because you're good at animation, or you're good at graphics, or you're good at social media. So maybe you yourself, you don't think you're passionate about anything, but then when you kind of look at what people normally come to you for, or what they normally say you're good at, then actually that will lead you or give you an idea of where your talent and your gifts are. So sometimes it actually may take others to help you to identify it, because you yourself off the bat, you didn't even realize it. It's just something that comes naturally to you that you do. Generally, you will find your passion when you're doing something that you would do even if you're not being paid for it. You just love it, right? So it doesn't matter what in the world you're doing. For example, me doing media, like even if you weren't paying me to do it, I would still do it because it's something that I'm passionate about in terms of inspirational media. That is not the craziness and the crime and the violence. We have enough content where that is concerned. I've had situations where I've had to start over. I won't say different, because as I said, because I started out so early in the industry. Imagine you start out in the industry at 19 years old, and you're just barely going into your 20. And I've been in the industry now almost 10 years now. So I've had situations where I've learned so much, I've grown so much, and then I've had to like say, okay, it's time to move on. And so for me, persons will look at my resume, they're like, is this a young person? Because her resume, she's been, I've been, let me see how many media houses I've been with. I was at CBM, and then I was with Owen James. And then I was with Owen James for like 2 years, but that I was still at UE. CBM, I was still at university, same way. And at JIS as a television presenter and a writer and a producer for 3 years. And then I went to Sports Magazine, Caribbean News, which is part of the Sports Max family. And I took over as executive producer. And I did that for 3 years, and I was a news anchor there and a presenter as well. So, and then now my current post, as I said, I do a lot of freelancing television now, plus I'm also a communication specialist. I think for me, one of the greatest challenge in terms of career-wise has been when it's time to move on. It's always been, that's perhaps has been, because I will have friends that will say, why are you leaving there? Like, you need to, in other words, I'm told that you need to stay to solidify yourself in that specific place or so forth, and that is a big risk, and you may mess up your career, and it's like you literally have to take that risk, because in your heart you will know. One of the things I will tell you as a university student is that when you begin working and you're getting your experience and everything, you will also know when it's time to move on. And sometimes you have that inner feeling, or maybe it's situations that are arising and you realize, okay, it's time. But you have to just like, I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to take that faith, and I'm going to try another thing. I'm going to explore another area. It's still in line with your passion and your purpose, but it's getting more experience. And so I feel like don't shy away from that. Don't shy away from being all that you can be in line with your purpose as well and your passion. And, explore the different aspects of yourself. I feel like don't feel like you are stuck, or you're like a tree that is planted and can't move. It's a lie. You can't move. I've had my share of challenges, as I mentioned, and I think what keeps me moving forward is my faith. I definitely would say that it is my faith, and it doesn't necessarily even have to be that for a person that they have to be like a Christian or not. But I think having a sense of belief, or having a sense of confidence, in a power that is greater than you, is very important. Because to me, at the end of the day, we see so much ills happening in the world right now. Where the world is going through a global crisis. So many things happening. So who do you place your hope and your trust and your confidence in?
So much for taking the time out to watch this video. If you enjoyed what I had to share, I'd appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone else who may be able to find it helpful.
So looking forward to talking to you on my Facebook account and on my Instagram account.
I'm also looking forward to reading your comments down below. Until next time, take care, keep safe, and every day aim to be better, to do better, and to live your best life.